This episode of Enduro Chronicles takes us to Kemer on the southern coastline of Turkey for the Red Bull Sea to Sky. The world's top riders take on one of the most unique events in the calendar, riding from sea level to over 2,000 meters in altitude, reaching the summit of Mount Olympus. We catch up with Britain's Paul Bolton as he shows us around his hometown and his training techniques in Chorley, Lancashire. We also follow last year's race winner Graham Jarvis on a flash visit to the US for the X Games. Paul Bolton is not your average hard enduro rider. A veteran of the sport, Bolton competes as an amateur. It takes a special breed of athlete to act as mechanic and rider. But what is it that makes this man tick?
Hi, I'm Paul Bolton. I'm 31 years old. I am a truck mechanic by trade. This is my house, this is my garage, and we're here in Chorley, where I'm from, in Lancashire, in England. I ride a KTM 300 two-stroke. The KTM 300 EXC is the weapon of choice for everybody in the extreme enduro world. Probably the best bike out of the box. You come in here and you're fixing your bike and you just keep looking at the trophies and you're thinking, you know, I need to get one of them ones with the first place on an important race. I was third in Erzberg in 2008, so this was like one of my proudest moments and to date.
The world's very best hard enduro talent is in Kemer, Turkey for a unique event spanning 100 kilometers of mixed terrain. It's an ideal opportunity for Paul and other riders to add to their trophy cabinet. It's not just the thrill of competition that pulls in riders from every corner of the globe. Kemer offers a whole lot more.
What a cool concept. We're here in our shorts and having a swim in the sea after riding. What a wicked place to be.
Sea to Sky is different to the other races. You're racing from the beach to the top of Mount Olympus, so you need every skill you've got to get to the top of the mountain.
The riders must now get through part one of the race, a qualifying round on the sun-drenched beaches of Kemer. Who will triumph and gain valuable grid positioning for round two? Johnny Walker's trials background stands him in good stead for riding on sand, and his pace shows as he pushes hard. Last year's Sea to Sky winner Graham Jarvis also starts strongly and is up front pushing for the lead. Some riders prefer the sand more than others. Jarvis has had mixed fortunes on this terrain over the years.
I'm the first to admit I'm not very good in the sand, so it'd be nice just to get a better result in that this year.
The life of a hard enduro rider has many perks. One of them is seeing new places around the world, something Graham Jarvis is taking full advantage of.
So I've had a few days in America and done a bit of sightseeing and watched some of the other events here, which is all a new experience for me, so it's been good fun.
As well as enjoying all that Southern California has to offer, Jarvis buys a star map in the hope of dropping in on an old friend.
Yeah, we did the star map, so I went to see where Beckham lived. This is Beckham's house. This is him now. Maybe I'll give him a call. Yeah, all right, Beck, let us in. He unfortunately went in, so couldn't go and have a chat with him. We're at the premiere of Nitro Circus. Going to mix it with some Superstar. Just an incredible experience, unbelievable. Just good atmosphere, mixing it with lots of famous people. Just having a photo taken with Travis and just loving it.
It isn't all rest and recreation for Jarvis, however, as he hones his skills at the legendary Glen Helen track.
Did a bit of practice at Glen Helen, so it was a famous motocross track. It was good to go there and watch some of the top lads ride in there and do a bit of enduro cross practice myself.
With Jarvis enjoying his time in America, Paul Bolton has an altogether different approach to this sport.
Yeah, it would be nice to get the green light to go riding every day, but it's not. I don't know if it's the be-all and end-all, because every time they get on the bike, it's going to work. They're working weekends, I'm having fun at weekend. With regards to training, I do go to the gym a little bit. The setting in that is a little bit, but I do quite a bit of swimming and mountain biking. Yeah, here we are, we're at Blackburn, Witton Park Woods. This is like a cheeky training area, usually in the summer because it's bloody freezing today.
Let's see whether Paul's mountain bike training pays off as we return to the action-packed beaches of Turkey. Paul Bolton and the others can do little to stop Johnny Walker as he takes the checkered flag to wrap up the beach section of the event. Next up is the Forest Race, an individual time trial. The goal here is to achieve the fastest time from start to finish. A good result here means a decent position going into the final day. After a close battle, Jarvis edges out Johnny Walker for pole position. Time now for some much-needed rest and recuperation before strapping up again for the final showdown. Day 3 sees mixed conditions as the weather appears to have changed the playing field.
If it rains, it'll make it a lot different. Yeah, it's going to make the course a bit trickier, so it should suit me.
The weather plays a big part in this because at the top it's like a limestone.
Finally, the main event is underway. All have one goal in mind, to get to the top of the mountain first. Andreas Lettenbichler shows good pace and takes an early lead. Three riders break away from the pack. Jarvis is closely followed by Letty and Walker. Meanwhile, Paul Bolton is hovering below the radar and quietly creeping up on them. Will he be able to catch them?
I started in trials, and then when I got to about 17, I was a bit bored of trials, going a bit slow and everything else, and so then I got into enduro. It just progressed from there. Some guy said to me, you know, you should go to Erzberg. Basically, that was it. The snowball just kept on rolling, so I'm hooked on it now. 2011 went really well, actually. I started off with the tough one and got a second position there, which was really good. And then Romaniacs went well. I was fourth again in Romaniacs. My goals for 2012 are just to try and play it safe and try and hang in with them guys who are riding for a job now. To be a professional rider, you've got to absolutely eat, sleep and breathe it. You know, I think that they're a strange breed who actually can go out on their bike and perform and try and get some enjoyment out of it as well.
Back on Mount Olympus, not all riders are having fun. The higher you go, the harder it gets. The riders have to contend with rain, freezing air, and lack of oxygen. Jarvis and Walker are neck and neck, but it's Johnny who cracks first, giving Jarvis a chance to extend his lead. Paul Bolton is making steady progress, with Letty ahead of him in third. Jarvis and Walker continue to battle it out for the lead as the summit approaches. In the end, it's Jarvis who arrives at the peak first to win the Red Bull Sea to Sky, defending his title. Johnny has to settle for second place. The race for third is still on. Letty's chain suddenly comes off the wheel, allowing Paul Bolton to press onto the summit and take third. This is the harsh reality of hard enduro.
It put me under real pressure early on, so I just had to keep calm and focus on what I was doing, and then had a sprint finish towards the end.
Second's good, you know. I followed Graham for a long time and then made too many mistakes near the top, and he got away, and I just couldn't catch him.
I got such a bad start and made so many mistakes early on, but then got into a rhythm and just kept cruising and thinking, you know, you never know what happens at the top.
For the other riders who reach the summit, they know what they've achieved. They may not have the win, but to finish up here is a victory in itself. Following another win, Graham Jarvis pulls further clear of Johnny Walker in the overall standings. Paul Bolton overtakes the unlucky Andreas Lettenbichler and sits in third. On the next Enduro Chronicles, we're in Lesotho in southern Africa for the Roof of Africa. Can anyone stop the inevitable as Graham Jarvis looks to seal the overall title in the season-ending classic? See you next time.